Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Just to remind you, next week we are going to the cemetery, in Walthamstow. Inshallah, it's at 10:30.
That's be at 10:30.
No, be there at 10:15. 10:30 must start, inshallah. Right? You can bring your wife, your wife's. Your mom, so that because I just can't separate men and women because it's one and off thing, as you know, right? We went before, so. Sorry?
What did you say?
I can't separate one day for men, one day for women. It's just one off thing because it's difficult to arrange something like that, right? So apologies for that. And on that basis, that's why on Thursday we were talking about death, right? About how all of us will have appointment with the angel of death, which cannot be avoided. And it is important, right, that all of us understand about the urgency, right? Urgency of our preparations for before the angel of death comes, right? Yasin. What would you say to the angel of death when he comes?
So,
what would you say to the angel of death when he comes? What would you say to him?
People would say, give me more time.
What would you say?
I don't know what I'd say. But I guess I'd say, give me more time. Based on that.
Assalamualaikum, right? Always remember, none of us can avoid it. Right? That's what I'm trying to say. So let's take every day as a one day less before he comes to see us. Yes.
You can't talk to at least he asked me a question, right?
Who?
You can't ask the angel.
Going to come to see us, isn't it? Right. I do not know what is going to ask or to say. So it is important. It is important that all of us are preparing ourselves, before the angel of death comes. Yes.
Do we actually see him?
Oh, that's
Do we actually see him at the time of death?
Yes. Some yes.
We should, we should see him. Don't suddenly you find yourself in another world. It will happen, right? So, but it is something that you do need to be preparing for. Right? We discussed before, only one person was able to gouge his eyes out, right? That was Musa alayhi salam, right? Was gouge his eyes out. But there's very exceptional cases. Farouk, question?
Thousands of people die on Malatul Earth. So how many angels of death?
Yeah, this is something we just do not need to know and need to ask. As in, right, like when different parts of the world we are praying, and when we pray, Allah is looking at us. How can Allah look at all our eyes and all this? We do not know. These types of things. These are the things that are unseen. Yes.
But when he passing, imagine.
Yes. Yes.
1 minute is the half of the universe, right?
Yeah. You're talking about his actual size.
Yeah.
Yes, actual size. Yeah. But again, we do not know, and we do not need to know. Isn't it true? How the angel of death looks like? We do not need to know. We just know that it's going to come. When he comes, you will know. But by then, it's a bit too late.
It's very dark. I know it's dark.
It's a bit too late, right? But there are signs, as I said before, right? There are signs that, for example, we talked before how, inshallah, for all of us, right, that we will see amazing looking angels in front of us, right? That means waiting to collect our soul when it's out of the body. Right?
That's why the eyes follow the soul that open up.
Yes.
Someone dies.
So in a sense that the angels of death job is just to pick up the soul, full stop. Because it's very busy, right? Going to this. Every day there are about 6,000 death per hour. No overtime. Right. Knowledge. you don't need to know how it's utilized and all. It will come, right? And that's why before it comes, we just need to prepare, inshallah. Yeah. Unbeneficial knowledge, which many people are asking, isn't it, Yasin?
Yes.
Right. So this is this is something in which we do need to be prepared for it. Yeah. So we discussed on Thursday about death. Yeah. And now we are going to move forward from that after we die. Yeah. What's going to happen? Yeah. When our soul is taken away, as I said, there are two groups of people in two different hadith. Yeah. Same hadith stories, but just two different parts. Believers death is different, yeah, because for a believer, the angels who will look, inshallah, amazingly nice, will be waiting for us, yeah, to be able to take away our soul to be brought to the different levels of skies. How many levels of skies do we have? No, 7, right? And we'll be shrouded with nice smelling clothes, and all the angels will ask us, who is this nice person, so and so, who is so and so bin, that means son of so and so, right? And then we will be answered, which is so annoying upstairs, right? About, I hope not, I'm gonna punch your face. And even they will be invited to different levels of skies to enter, right? But of course they couldn't enter, yeah, because they will go to different levels until the 7th level, and then they will be brought down back to the earth to be questioned.
Judged.
Yeah, not judged, questioned by Munkar and Nakir. Who is Munkar and Nakir?
The angels of the grave.
Horrible looking angels.
Yeah.
Very scary looking descriptions. Always in authentic hadith, how they would look like, yeah. And they ask very, very simple questions. For those who know the answer, inshallah, you'll be guided, right? What are the questions? Man Rabbuka, who is your Lord? And who is the Prophet that was sent to you? And who is the Deen? What is the Deen? Sorry, who is the Deen? What is the Deen? Don't learn from me, Sama, my English. No, who is the Deen? What is the Deen, right? That was sent to you. Very straightforward question, right, in which you and I should be able to answer. However, Gufran, as you and I, all of us have been through exams before, sometimes you know the answer, but just couldn't come out, right? And this is how it happens to some people, all right? Once you know the answer, what happened?
You say it.
After you say it.
Then there will be several things happen, isn't it true? Right? The grave widens, right? Grave, I use it loosely because this is called barzakh, isn't it true? Right? So literally, when the grave is there, it's not there, or we do not know where it is, right? Called a barzakh, the place of resting. Right? And we know from hadith that there will be a nice-looking person at your side. Who are these people? Your good deeds, who will always remind you about Jannah and all this, yeah. And you be the place of rest will be lightened, a lot of light, yeah, and widened. According to some narrations, 60 meters, right? And quite interesting that there may be, according to some narrations, when you die, your close relatives may come, the soul may come to you and would say, "Oh, how is so and so?" And we agree to it, who is so and so, and then the rest said, no, don't disturb. He just came to this life. Let him rest first, right? And it's quite interesting to sort the interactions with some of the souls, right? Subhanallah, but all I'm trying to say, brothers, right? That is a place to rest. This is not the place to rest. Agreed? Because when you're resting, inshallah, that is true rest, isn't it true? You no need to worry about how to earn a living. No need to earn where to get my food, where to get, everything is peaceful, inshallah. Not only that, the best part, what is the best part when resting in the barzakh? You'll be shown the windows of Jannah. Isn't that the best part? Right? So much so that you will feel so anxious that you always ask the angels every day, when is the day of judgment? When is their judgment? The angels will answer, chill, it will come soon. right? In that way, right? So because subhanallah, brothers, that place of your abode or our abode, inshallah, it will be so amazing. You want to go to that place, yeah. According to some narrations, so these people who have already passed away and the souls, they will pity you and me living this life because we are still striving and all this, whereas they're living in a life quite peaceful, right? That resting, and so they pity those of us who just died and getting used to the environment of this barzakh. So this is quite amazing narration, yeah, how the angels will also we understand about the squeeze of the grave, which I have not mentioned, right? What is the squeeze of the grave?
When you can't answer the question.
No.
It happens to everyone.
Immediately after you are buried, everybody, the body will be squeezed, right? Squeezed, right? Your ribs will come close together, right? Nobody is exceptions from this. Yes.
Is this in the barzakh?
Mm.
Barzakh or in the earth?
On the earth, as in immediately when you are buried, your body is squeezed, as such that your rib cage will be close together. Depends on how is your status of your iman and your deeds. Yet, if a true believer, it will be short time, but for others, it will be much longer time. Right? I'm just going to read for you some questions to the people answered by Sheikh Albani rahimullah, right, about the squeeze of the grave. Right? So this was a story about the sister was questioning me questions about this. I mean, you just have to accept it, isn't it true? I wouldn't say things that is untrue about the squeeze of the grave, that it wouldn't happen, right? It will happen, whether you like it or not. And listen to these narrations, right? Because they say if a person who will be saved from it, it will be a person called Sa'id ibn Mu'adh. Anybody heard of Sa'id ibn Mu'adh, Osama? Yes, thank you.
Sorry.
He's so amazing person that when he died, the Arsh of Allah shook. Heard about this, right? Yeah, he's one of the people. My hair stands on ends because he's such an amazing person, right? Because he's one of the 10 people who are promised Jannah. Yeah. So if anybody is spared from that, it will be Sa'ad bin Mu'adh. But even he is not spared from it. So technically, when the hadith talk about this, that means you and I will have to go through it, isn't it true? Right? So from Sheikh Albani, right? The questioner, right, said we were with the Prophet ﷺ during the funeral. So when we okay, this is what about the okay. He said that the believer is squeezed in it one time such that his hamma'il are crushed and the disbelievers is covered in fire. Disbelievers covered in fire.
In the grave.
Yes, and the rest of us are, no exception, will be squeezed, right? He said the hamma'il are the veins of the testicles.
Sorry.
The veins is just an expression. If your veins of testicles, if I crush it, right, will you scream?
Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shall we try? Say maybe. Right? You will, right? So it's just an expression that it will be painful. Like it or not, whether we have a lot of sins or few sins, it will happen to us. Death, brothers, death is a scary thing, isn't it true? Even Prophet Muhammad was saying, even for him, the death will be painful. Agreed? It will be a painful thing. You cannot say, oh, but if I have no sins, why should Allah punish me?
Impossible to have no sins.
You can't. It's impossible, right? And secondly, right, what Allah has decreed, it will happen. It's not up to you to question about, there's no point to be sad and no, don't believe me, or I only believe in Allah, don't believe in you, and like it's very annoying, that kind of thing, you know what I mean? That kind of question. So yes, yes.
If you live righteously, doesn't the pain around your ribs like alleviate a bit? Isn't it not as bad?
You will feel the pain, but at a much shorter time. It's just about the interval of time is very short. Just like when you test.
Yes.
When you test.
No.
Right? Sheikh Albani said, continued, and his ribs will overlap. No one will escape it, not even Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh, as he was saying in some authentic hadith. Right? So, question, namely, he will feel the pain from this squeezing. Again, I think every has the same questions, as I repeated again. He will feel the pain, and Sheikh Albani said, without doubt, everybody will feel the pain when the ribs overlap. Then this is severe pain, but it does not persist. When you try your ribs getting overlapped, right? One squeezing, and then everything returns to this natural state. If he was a righteous person, if he was an evil person, then it will be an even serious state. Yep. So this is something in which none of us can escape. Hold on. Same question now. Namely, the squeezing, there's no escape from it. It's just like Yasin asking me so many times, right? When is the cemetery visit, right? Asking me again and again and again. I said second, right? Many times, right? Same thing. Nobody can believe it. And he said there's no escape from it. It's not me. I didn't make up the rules. I didn't make up the laws. It's Allah, right? And Sheikh Albani rahimahullah repeated again, nobody can escape from it. Okay, if anybody can escape, who is it? No. What's the Sahaba? Sorry? Yes, right. Sa'ad bin Mu'adh. Only he because when he died, as I said, the throne of Allah shook. Right. So it is important to understand this. Right? No human beings will be spared of the squeeze of the grave. Right. Ibn Abbas said, right, if anyone were to escape, again, same thing, right? It would be Sa'ad ibn Mu'adh. However, he was squeezed once and then released, right?
So just like a brief squeeze.
Very, very brief squeeze, right? Now, can the dead hear us?
I think so, yeah.
I think when we leave.
Is that why you said Yasin? At the initial stage, is it true? Right? That is why one of the Sahaba was saying, another to the rest of his companions, when I'm getting buried, can you please remain in the place and don't go away and make dua? It gives me comfort to know that you are there. It's amazing, isn't it true? And he can hear the footsteps. I think my head is scary. Yeah, it's very scary when you're talking about the grave, right? Because what do you call it? You can hear the footsteps getting away, and that's it. Your hearing will finished, completely off. So there's no point to recite Quran at the grave. Is it true? You have to understand this, right? So can the dead hear us? Okay, then you turn to Surah number. I didn't write this down. Sorry. Right, this was in the Quran. I will find out for you, inshallah. But we surah is this, right? Usama, can you find it for me? وَمَا يَسْتَوِي الْأَحْيَاءُ وَلَا الْأَمْوَاتُ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُسْمِعُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَمَا أَنْتَ بِمُسْمِعٍ مَنْ فِي الْقُبُورِ. Not equal are the living and the dead. Indeed, Allah causes to hear whom He wills, but you cannot make hear those in the graves. 35:22, right? So, Fatir, yeah, Fatir, verse number 22, right? So they cannot hear us, right? So this is it. So this is when the our life, inshallah, whether you like it or not, will be there. right? As in 6 feet on the ground is your physical body. Barzakh, we don't know where it is, yeah, where we will be permanently, right? Even Uthman ibn Affan, as you note, whenever he went to the grave, what would he do?
Cry.
Yeah, not Yasin, yeah.
Yeah.
He would cry. He would cry. And when he was asked, why, when we mentioned about the Day of Judgment, you didn't cry? But when we mentioned about the grave, you cry. And he said, right, is because this is the first test of everyone. If we pass this first hurdle, everything else will be easy, inshallah. But if we don't pass the first hurdle, everything will be difficult.
You know, I went to a burial in Grounds of Peace a month ago. My friend's father died.
Yeah.
When he was burying him, everyone was fighting over the soil. They're like chucking it inside. I didn't know what to do. They're like, I'll put three handfuls inside. Is this authentic? Or is it made
Just
up?
to help with the burial.
He was saying it was someone to take 3 handfuls and throw it in.
Oh yeah, I heard this as well.
I'll find out for you. If I'm not sure about this. I heard about this, but I'm not sure about the authenticity about this. Inshallah. Remind me, okay, about this. Yes, yes. 55:22. Yeah, about the dead cannot hear. Yeah. For those who are believers, of course, right? Coming back to when the angels are taking our lives away, right? Turn to Surah number 41, verse number 30. 41:30. It's very famous. Everybody will love this verse, inshallah, right? Assalamu rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It should be. Right? Innal ladhina qalu rabbuna Allah thumma istaqamu tatanazzalu alaihimul malaikatu alla takhafu wa la tahzanu wa abshiru bil jannati allati kuntum tu'adun. This is amazing, right? The meaning, right? Verily those who say our Lord is Allah and then stand firm, that means no, do not commit any shirk, right? And they have, what is istiqamah means? Yeah, to be steadfast. Is it istiqamah, is it easy or difficult? I think it's very difficult, isn't it true? Right? The Arabs are busy trying to buy Mohamed Salah for the football club, right? They're going to pay Mohamed Salah about more than £1 million a week, I think.
For 1 week, they're buying it.
A week? No, his salary, his pay, subhanAllah, right? And it's quite difficult, isn't it true? Because it depends on your lifestyle. Agree? Yeah? Your job is to drive a bus. Is it easy to be steadfast?
Oh, no, boss.
Oh, sorry, you're black cap, sorry, right? Was it easy?
It's all right.
Because many of your colleagues would say, right, Ghufran, right, that the more longer you drive, the more you get money, is it true? In general. Because of that, well, let's drive for another 1 hour because let's pick up another passenger. In general, right? Because technically you think it's like that. Right? Because even when I was working as a dentist, if I were to work, that means I got more money. But that's not true, isn't it true? Because our risk has been determined by Allah. That's very important to understand. Right? So it's not about the longer you work, the more money you get.
Especially Fajr, some brothers miss Fajr, the masjid closes.
Yeah.
You're too far out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Especially in winter, when you have to, when the prayers are together. So brothers, always remember, right? It's not worth it, right, to sacrifice your prayer time at the expense of the risk that has already been determined by Allah. Yeah. Same thing as those who are doing Deliveroo and the food, on the food. The same thing. The more they work, the higher. Subhanallah, many of them work for hours and hours and hours. Many of them, they never even go to classes and all this. They miss prayers and all this. SubhanAllah, at the expense of what? All right. So something in which, again, istiqamah, all right, being steadfast is very tricky for many people. All right. But if you do this, right. So when you have not committed any shirk and you have istiqamah, right, on them, brothers, the angels will descend at the time of the death, and you will want to hear this. Isn't it true? Well, the angels said, do not fear, do not grieve, but receive the glad tidings of paradise, which you have been promised. Isn't it amazing that the angel of death would try, it's not angel of death, it's the angels, right? Remember? The ones whom you're going to see before the angel of death comes, yeah? And then continue, verse number 31, نَحْنُ أَوْلِيَاؤُكُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا مَا تَشْتَهِي أَنفُسُكُمْ وَلَكُمْ فِيهَا مَا تَدَعُونَ نُزُلًا مِنْ غَفُورٍ رَحِيمٍ. Right? We have been friends in the life of the world, and so in the hereafter, therein in the hereafter, you shall have all that your inner selves desire, and therein you shall have all that you ask, and entertainment from Allah, the often forgiving, the most merciful. Subhanallah, something that we hope that we can hear these words from the angel, right? To assure us yet of our, inshallah, where we are going in the hereafter. Okay. Now, so this is when the soul, to summarize about the soul, right? The soul will go through 4 different kinds of journeys, right? What's the first journey? No? The womb first.
Oh, okay.
The womb, the soul will enter the womb first, isn't it true? To be put in the unborn baby's womb, right? And then unborn baby.
Mother.
Of the mother.
Oh, yeah.
Don't listen to his English, right? Secondly, in this world, when the baby is born, the soul will be in this world, right? Until death. It can be 1 month, can be 6 years, can be 12 years, whatever it is, right? And then comes the barzakh. And then comes the long journey, which is in hereafter. How many thousands of years? 50,000 years.
So close.
Right?
And where?
When the trumpet is blown until when we enter Jannah, inshallah. 50,000 years. Then comes the journey at the paradise or hellfire. Yes.
In terms of the stages that the soul will go through, would you not count from before the womb as well?
When?
Like when the souls are together, not conjoined, but you know what I mean?
Well, it becomes too abstract, isn't it true?
Sure.
So if we talk about a human being, so when Allah put a soul in you and me, you and me, of course, right? in our body, in a baby, right? That is when everything starts.
Yeah.
And the soul will never disappear.
Yeah.
Forever, it will go into the destination, whether it is hellfire or paradise. Right? You cannot remove the soul.
Yeah.
It will be forever. It's up to you and me to, well, inshallah, with Allah's guidance, to determine our destination. Is it true? Right? Yes.
50,000 years, isn't time different? And there, between here or something?
So I said,
We do not know, of course, but I think it shouldn't be that abstract that it's just a random number, right? It just means that it's just a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you think, I know, because in the hereafter and compared now, 1 day is for how many thousands of years, we don't know, right? But it should be in depth, so then might as well not put a number, isn't it true? But 50,000 is quite.
Duhur to Asr is one scholar said that it's just the time we believe in, is like from Duhur to Asr.
Yes, so because you're enjoying yourself,
Yeah.
right? For this believer is very long when you're punished in the barzakh. So again, hold on, yeah, Farouk. So even in our time in the barzakh, right? How much a believer and disbeliever spend is very different, right? A disbeliever, when they are punished, surely time passes very slow. But when you're enjoying yourself, like you're going to Umrah, you go to the mosque even, right? 1 day can finish, right? Right? When you're enjoying yourself, the good company, 1 day finish, that's it. But when you're all alone, that's such a long time, you know. You're all asking me, where is any class today? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? No, I have my own classes online, right? Okay. So this is so your question.
Say if a body get burned like other people's like, does it go through the same process?
A body is burned, yes. If your body is eaten by a shark, right? Allah will still be able to
Squeeze the body.
Yeah, of course. In Allah, because you see, at the end of the day, we see as we see in this world. This is a book, this is the laptop, this is sky. But in the hereafter, it's very different dimensions. We do not know, right? Surely, right? Allah is fair, isn't it true?
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that a person is not in the grave, is being burnt, doesn't mean there wasn't any so-called squeeze of the grave. Allah knows how to deal with all these people, right? As I said, if you are eaten by a shark, there's almost nothing left, isn't it true? Right? How can we be buried in all this? Eaten by alligators and the crocodiles and all this, which happen to some people. Some people in Malaysia, Indonesia, eaten by python, you know.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Even the people who are burned, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Christians and-
Yeah. Some people in the Indonesian, in some part, Adam,
Yes, sir.
in some parts of Bali, right? They don't bury the dead.
Why? What cremate?
So no, they put it like in the tree, right? The tree is able to absorb. It's true, is it true, right? I went there. No, I went there. I went to Bali. I saw the farm. I said no thanks. I don't want to go there.
It's like there's actual dead people in the trees.
Not hanging at the tree, but lying down. I'm sure they put some leaves and all this. The trees will absorb the same special trees that absorb the smell of the disease.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's your country, you know, all these horrible things in Indonesia. Right? So, yes. So this is how the soul and how we must, brothers, we must purify our soul. The soul can be existing in three forms. Right? So what's the difference between ruh and nafs? What's the difference?
Ruh is soul, nafs is inclination.
What?
Say ruh and nafs.
What is the spirit?
I can't hear anything today.
No, yeah,
You're answering, you hear me correctly, your answer is completely wrong.
Oh, my bad.
Right? Right? The difference between ruh and nafs. What's the difference? Osama? It's quite straightforward, right? It's the same element. It's just that when the element is in the body, it's called nafs. When it's out the body, it's called ruh.
Oh, really?
But in English, everything is same, soul,
Yeah.
but in Arabic, it's quite specific. Right? So you don't call, because when we sleep, our soul
Soul
come
leaves.
out, right? We don't say nafs go out. No, ruh goes out to the skies, right? Yes. So with that soul in the body comes all these inclinations and desires, right? Which you need to, well, not stifle, tame it,
Yeah.
right? In order for them to be more subservient to Allah, right? And this is important that we purify our souls, right? So yes, sorry.
all of inflammation is actually our soul that implies to all of these things.
Yes,
If we want to leave.
because this is just a yes. Thank you. It's a vessel, is it true?
Yeah.
Nothing at all. It doesn't control anything. Everything is controlled by our soul in terms of whether we want to look at girls or not.
Again, I knew you were looking at me.
Right? Then it's up to us to tame our souls, isn't it true? Through Allah's guidance. Yeah. Verses in the Quran, Allah said many times in the Quran, Allah said, lower your gaze. But if your soul is not tamed, Adam,
Yeah.
right? Then you will look up at the chicks, right? So this is important that we purify our souls in order to So it's the same entity, right? That's why I'm coming to this about before we almost end. Yeah, about the three kinds of soul. What are three types of soul? Three types of soul. Almost there. Yeah, it's almost there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was a joke. Wow. So good. That's a good, bad, ugly.
I'm just being nice to you, but almost there. Right? First of all, it's called the best soul is called nafs mutmainnah. Right? This is, if you look in Surah number 89, right, verse number 27, verse number 30. Ya ayuhan nafsul mutmainnah irji'i ila rabbika radiyatan mardiyah fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati. Right? Oh, you satisfied soul, return to your Lord, pleased with yourself and pleasing to Him. Enter among my servants and enter my slaves. It's mutmainnah.
89 what?
89, the last three verses, 27 to 30.
He's got it in his language.
I'll change it.
Probably tonight.
Fajr, sir.
Yes, Fajr. Right? The next kind of soul is.
Wait.
So when you're in the mosque, are we calm?
Yeah.
right? You go to Umrah, when you do a Salah,
Oh,
that is the kind of soul, mutma'innah, yeah, very pleasing, very calm, very subservient, very obedient to Allah, right? There's another soul, right, which is nafs al-ammara bisu in surah number 1253, right, in which all our souls are in this state in general, right? Inna nafsal ammaratum bisu'i illa ma rahima rabbi inna rabbi ghafurur rahim. In 1253, right? Indeed, the human self is inclined to evil, right? Except when my Lord bestows His mercy. Indeed, my Lord is often forgiving, the most merciful, right? So this is, most people are in this state, right? The next one will be, and this is despite how it sounds like, it is good, right? It's called nafs al-lawwama, yeah, which means, which surah is this? Al-Qiyamah, right? Verse number 2, right? La uqsimu bi yawmil qiyamah wa la uqsimu bin nafs al-lawwama, right? 75, verse number 1 and 2, yeah? Which means the soul who is always scolding yourself because I should have done this, I should have done this, I shouldn't have cheated, I shouldn't have lied, right? Right? Shouldn't have looked at girls. and all this, right? So what is this business that we have with all these three souls, right? It interchange at all times, isn't it true? When some of us go to Soho, right, Yasin, perhaps it is the second one, sorry, right? Actually, it can be the first one in Soho because no, there's a mosque there.
not yet.
Where is it?
There's a mosque there in Soho.
Already?
Yes, Berwick Street. It's been there for a long time,
I did not
right?
know.
Or in Leicester, you guys give that one right before? In Leicester
Yeah,
Square.
that's square.
Yeah, there's a thing, right? Right. So there is. So it depends on where you are exactly in Soho, right? So and then yeah. So when you are doing things that may be disobedient to Allah, then you come on the third one, right? Always telling us, I should have done this, I should have. But this is a good soul because only Allah will guide us to regret, isn't it true? Some people we have all these girlfriends and all this and very happy with it, yeah. Cheating and lying, right? In many countries. Why is the market one of the worst places, not the worst place to be? The market.
Because everyone's trying to say
People lie.
so many guys.
A lot of cheating and lying in the market. It's one of the worst places. That's why there's a dua to make, is it, in the market?
Because of bargaining.
No, because of the sellers would lie. The sellers would lie in general, is it true? Whether it's Indonesia, whether it's, I remember it was in Indonesia, right? With my students actually, right? They want me to bring, come, I want to show you something. Give me back alley, you know. Back alley. Then I said, okay, it's okay, no problem. We go out again. Don't know whether we're going to stab or going to be robbed and all this in that alley. It happened, not just in many countries.
Even here, many kebabs, they say it's lamb, but it's not all lamb. It's a mixture of things.
Horse meat and all this. Yeah, so be careful. Okay. So these are how our soul is evolving. Depends on ourselves. How we is it? Do we have to blame ourselves if it evolves towards the thing that they always being disobedient to Allah? Is our own making, is it true? In terms of whether we are among the good or the bad, because at the end of the day, today, for example, you can go and have a suntan in the Regent's Park, isn't it true?
Yeah.
Looking at the girls, correct?
No.
Or you can come to the mosque, right? The choice is yours, right? Yes.
Can you describe the second type of soul to me again? What soul that's from?
Second is the 1253, right?
Soul.
The soul is always inclined to evil unless Allah is granting His guidance. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Now, any questions? Yes.
So, like the word hawa nafsi, it means whims and desires.
Sorry?
Hawa nafsi, hawa nafs.
Our nafs, yes.
That's also Arabic, right? Hawa nafs, or is it?
Sorry, what Arabic?
I'm just saying, it means wings and desires, right?
Yes.
Hawa also part of.
Hawa, yes, yes,
It's
yes.
a part of the soul as well.
Yes, yes. Whatever is inside, right, that can be manifested, right, is part of our soul.
What's the difference
desires.
between the two, Hawa and nafs?
It's similar, right? But the more important thing that all of us must understand that it is up to us to tame our soul, isn't it true? To purify our soul. That's why the purification of our soul is very important. How do you purify our soul?
Prayer, guidance, knowledge.
Surah number 13, verse number 28. Right? 13:28. What did Allah say? In the second bit? Yes. Yes. Can you repeat again the last part? Yes. Ala bi dhikrillah tatma'innul qulub, which means indeed in the remembrance of Allah, your hearts find rest. Now the remembrance of Allah does not need to specifically means subhanallah, subhanallah. It's not just that, is it true? By coming here, we're remembering Allah. Agreed? And you know, right? Ayub, the minute you step out this gate, it's a different world. It's a different world, right? That you're exposed to temptations and all that. Agreed?
Sometimes it's
In general.
isn't it?
For you,
No,
sorry, because you see the sisters, isn't it?
not just me, but
Okay,
no, in Ramadan, especially like iftar time,
yeah.
a lot of people.
Oh yeah, of course, all these fightings and all
And
this.
especially the sisters, they're dressing themselves in a certain way. I don't know why.
Much not.
Yeah, still need to exercise the lowering your gaze, inshallah. It's still in the mosque, all right? So all these things that we learn today, it is important in order for us to prepare ourselves. On the other hand, brothers, for those souls who are disbelievers or sinners, right? Always remember, right? The things that will happen after death, you cannot take it back. That means once we are in that state, we are always in that state. So before that state comes, in terms of, as I said, instead of having good-looking angels waiting for us, you're having horrible-looking angels waiting for some people. That is something in which you cannot change. You cannot say, oh, okay, actually, I don't want to go with you, right? It has come, or they have come for you. You will have to go with them. And before that time comes, it's up to you and me to actually make sure, right? We all of us have a soul that is purified, isn't it true? At all times. So again, how do you purify our souls? When we talk about 13:28, it's just a general thing. If you remember Allah, yeah, your hearts will find rest. So what specific things can you do?
Understand the need.
Yes, seeking knowledge in general, right? When you seek knowledge, nothing, inshallah. Again, of course, when you seek knowledge, doesn't mean Allah will guide you, right? Some people are attending lessons, but again, on the 10th of Ashura, right, they still do this, right? So it's up to Allah still to guide everybody in a straight path, right? It's said that people becomes revert and yet become Shia, become Sufi, and all this, right?
So
It's such a waste. I was just going to say that, so close but so far, right? And this is something in which we do need to be grateful to Allah, right? That we, alhamdulillah, we are trying our best, right? We follow the examples of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to the Quran, right? And it's very important. In places, I don't know about in Syria and all your countries, right? Algeria, in Indonesia, for example, many people claim that I'm from the Ahlus Sunnah Jama'ah, but they completely, right, it's away from the right path. They always claim that they are from the right path, but they are not, completely out, yeah? So unless we seek knowledge, it's very important, because I think for me, knowledge must come first. If you've got no knowledge, how do you pray, right? How do you know who Allah is? So seek knowledge in terms of Tawheed, how to do your Salah properly, understanding your Salah, understanding the Quran. All this is part of knowledge. All of us must make sure that we take our time and we spend a lot of time to seek knowledge. You cannot run away from not seeking knowledge, because on the day of judgment, you cannot say to Allah, Ya Allah, I thought Surah Yasin is recited on Thursday night. I thought I would just say, what did you? Indonesians say on Thursday? La ilaha illallah, la ilaha tahlil, right? And in a group, I thought that is what we have supposed to do, and because I'm worshiping Allah anyway, right? So it's important that we seek knowledge. But after we seek knowledge, there must be things, follow-up things, right? So it's not just reading the Quran. Then I need to know about, okay, in the Quran, right? When Allah mentioned about taqwa, how do I attain this taqwa? Because taqwa means being God conscious. That means you love Allah so much that you want to obey Allah, and you scared of Allah so much that you do not want to disobey Allah, right? Then, and Allah says in Surah number 49, verse number 13, Allah says, Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum, which means the one who is honored by Allah is the one with taqwa. So you want to be, all of us will want to be in a state of taqwa, isn't it true? Right? And that is what we hope to aim for, inshallah. So how do we aim to be in the state of taqwa? Adam?
Guidance, knowledge.
Yeah, but how?
Come to the mosque, read the Quran, obviously. The Quran.
No. It is in the Quran. How do you have taqwa? How do you reach the self taqwa? What you say is not correct, not wrong. But there are certain things that certain verses that okay, this is what I need to do to have taqwa. Which one is it? When you open the Quran, Al-Baqarah, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. Who are these people? Like 2, 3, 4, all these verses. Isn't it true?
Yeah.
Right? The belief in the unseen and all this, etc. Right? Another one, as we say, Surah number 3, verse number 133, 134, 135. Right? We discussed it for many times. Right? About spending. 134 is about spending. Isn't it true? Which means those who repress the anger, those who pardon men. And then the next part was about those who wrong themselves and commit fahisha, but they still remember Allah. So being instead of taqwa doesn't mean that you are sin free. You are still sinning, but you know that you quickly repent to Allah, right? So surely we want to be in this state. So in the sense that the Quran is not just read, that's it, right? It's supposed to up to you and me to analyze things, you know, to know what are the verses to read, what are the things to do. Even the simple verses, Aqimis Salah. It's not just about doing Salah. It's about fulfilling all the requirements of Salah. The most important is khushu', which is to surrender yourself completely to Allah, right? قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتٍ خَاشِعُونَ. Which surah is this? 23, verse number 1 and 2. Success for the believers, the first criteria is those who do the salah with khushu', right? So this seeking knowledge, you do need to analyze where is your knowledge. Knowledge, there's a lot of people with knowledge, right? But they just cannot explain or they cannot put into practice, right? You ask them many questions, they know this, but how come they're not praying properly? Why they have so many girlfriends? Right? Seriously, right? Then you need to question about, why do you have people with girlfriends, girlfriend?
Probably the salah is not up to standard.
Yes, because?
Exactly it.
Because?
Only their desire.
Yeah, but what did Allah say about the salah? 29? 45. What is it? Inna salata tanha anil fahsai wal munkar. The prayer will prevent immoralities and disobedience to Allah. So surely something must be wrong perhaps with the prayer. You might be praying, but perhaps you do not understand what you're reciting. Yeah? And that leads to a lot of gaps in all the deeds, and people might fall into sins deliberately or accidentally. Yeah? So after seeking knowledge, then what else must we do?
Implement it.
Yeah, but after that, all this, what other things that can we do?
Ask for guidance.
Guidance, right? You seek Allah's guidance, because guidance is something that you and I will have to really go through it and make sure you put in effort. Brothers, what you see from me speaking, it doesn't come just like that.
Yeah.
I need to, it's years of research for me, alhamdulillah, for many years. And then even this morning, I need to read through and make sure I don't get the things wrong. It's not just come like that. I need myself to make sure I don't pass the wrong information, right? And it's all about effort that you make to seek guidance, right? At the same time, when we talk about the Quran, yeah, make sure you recite the Quran every day. Farouk, do you recite the Quran every day?
On the phone,
Yes,
I have an app, so they recite and then I read the English
every day.
every morning after I pray.
Alhamdulillah, yes. It's very important, right, to make this effort, yeah, and understand and think. You have to think about what is Allah trying to tell me about this verse. It's not just about being comfortable. Okay, I've done half an hour reading. That's it, right? You need to think and analyze what have I learned today, yeah. And this is how you seek Allah's guidance, right? Other than that, of course, attending classes, right? And I think and listen to talks and all this if you can, yeah, that you understand, yeah, and that you are comfortable with. It's very important, yeah. Other than that, what else do you do in order to prepare for before we meet the angel of death? Do all the deeds that are possible in order to prevent yourself, right, from being punished in the barzakh, right? Because we haven't talked about their judgment yet. We did before many times, right? Our talk really just ended at the barzakh stage while waiting, right, for the trumpet to blow. Okay. Any questions?
Only one. Why did you scream at the girl? Oh. I want to know.
We talked this now.
Huh?
Because she was asking me. She was asking about the excuse of the grave.
Oh, is that one?
Yes.
I was asking about
Because she was saying that I never heard about it. Why if I didn't do any sins, right? So, and if I go to Hajj, I come back without any sins. Why should I be punished?
How did you get that after Hajj?
So one of the things I said is that don't sound arrogant.
Yeah.
You know me, I'm quite direct usually.
Yes, yeah.
And you do need to be very humble and talk about things. When I myself so scared of many things that I've did in the past and all this, right? Even all the prophets are scared about the things that they did in the past. How about, you know?
So she has.
And she's saying something. Oh yes, I trust Allah, but you are my teacher. You need to explain to me properly. Like
She probably got scared.
Say that again?
she's very scared.
So what happened?
She got scared.
No, because some people have this notion that if you're good, that's it. You won't have any punishments. Not necessary, right? It's beyond our control, whatever it is. It's our control, inshallah, to do our best. But after that, we are just His servant. We just accept whatever it is that Allah gave us, right? But surely we need to protect ourselves and make sure we have the correct knowledge, inshallah, first.
Say somebody pass me, they're hungry, and I don't feed them. That's lack of goodness. That's
Which one?
sin.
Which one?
A human pass me, and
Yeah.
they're hungry.
Yes.
I don't feed them. That's also sin, isn't it?
Well, if you have the money and you think that the person is really genuinely hungry, then help the person if you want, right? It's up to you. Yeah.
But it's not wrong not to feed them.
No, because you are just a person, single person. Everybody, for example, at the side of the mosque is asking you for money and all this. Some of them have big house in Romania, right? You know this, but you saw the documentary, right? Huge house in Romania, yeah. But some of you are so shocked. Some of these beggars have big house in Romania. They did a BBC documentary.
Yes.
Yeah. So not everybody you will trust. Do you know what I mean? Right? If you think that how many you get the reward, no matter what happens, whether your money goes to proper place or not, you still get the reward in full. Right? Again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide all of us in the straight path. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow our soul to be purified. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow all of us to be forgiven our sins and shortcomings. Grant Allah Jannah al-Firdaus. Anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun mursalin walhamdulillahi alamin. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakumullah khair. We go to the next mosque inshallah. for Hijrah. And then we'll see each other next week. Don't forget next week, 10:30, yeah? Yeah, some people will give a talk on why they became Muslims and all this. Yes. So